Hi. Oh, you got your mom.
Hello.
What was that all about?
We should do a joke one day where we start it, but then we just like freeze and we're like,
You gotta let me know when you're doing that.
no, I wasn't doing it. I was just like, I was waiting for you to say hi first.
Oh, well, hey, Mom.
Anyway, hello.
Oh, Federico's with us as well.
You're the host, so you gotta lead.
Oh, but this
with
is
this.
just...
This is our pre-show. Chitter chatter? Pre-show, pre-game? Pre-game with Cosmos.
At least for a minute.
Anyway, I gotta fluff my hair out. Mom would start pressing buttons. Button presser, Mom.
That would be kind of funny, though. That would be funny.
Oh, thanks, Jack. Yeah, the normal video that we usually use for our starting soon and our be right back interludes is no longer available. So I found that one, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Especially like the Aurora.
Yeah, that was pretty. So I have to adjust our credits now to include that video.
Oh man, I didn't change some things. I didn't change that up there. Oh well.
Oh well. I mean, we know what.
I do have the right one, right?
Kind of know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. I do have the right one. Well, that will be changed at some point.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Just got some little hairs. Okay. All right. I'm ready. You ready? Are you ready? Let's do this.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Cosmos with Cosmos. As always, I'm Mike.
I'm Liz.
And that's all. That's all we got
Just
today.
us.
Brandon is on assignment.
On
halfway around the world.
Yeah.
I hope he's sleeping right now. It sounds like it was a late night for him.
Oh,
Anyway, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the multiverse. This is going to be
it's going to be a hypothetical, theoretical, philosophical,
basically it's going to be mind-melting.
Yeah, mind-melting episode of what? Wait.
Huh?
What? That's pretty much going to be my reaction the entire time.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, before we get started, a few things. Follow us. Oh, actually, what are you drinking? That's what it is.
Oh, you want to do drinks first?
Yeah. Oh, I'll get to the other part that we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay, okay.
In a minute.
I am drinking the Multi-Liquorverse. That's what I'm drinking today. Basically, we got good old-fashioned your bourbon, your amaretto, your gin, multiple liquors, and orange juice.
Yeah, orange juice, bourbon, amaretto, gin.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
I did it.
Yeah, I was looking at a comment and missed the first one. So yeah, and this drink that you've had has caused problems in the past. So we'll see how it goes. we made an effort. We made a conscious decision
to have multiple liquors in our drinks.
multiple liquors in our drinks.
With the
multiple
verses.
God, this is gonna kill us. I think I am having the multi-worlds of alcohol. Sounds very Disney.
Welcome to the multi-worlds of alcohol.
Yes, and let's see. Mine has gin, rum, peach vodka, tequila, triple sec.
Oh God.
Lemon juice, and Coke.
So you got 5 alcohols in there, 5 liquors.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, triple sec. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Anyway.
So this is very dangerous, and so those are our drinks, and Jack made a delicious blueberry white chocolate iced mocha. Yeah, that does really sound pretty good, really good.
It sounds good. I could use some caffeine.
Well, I do have a Monster in the.
No, that's true.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yay! That's right, because they're going to Katie's best friend's wedding.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah. So.
All right, so follow us on all the things. Twitter is Drinking Cosmos, and on everything else is Cosmos with Cosmos. There we go.
You did it.
And be sure to rate us on all the things, subscribe, do all the good things that we want you to do, and basically just follow us and tell all your friends. Don't forget, after this episode, we have the hangover. And also, don't forget that every other Wednesday we have the shot. I don't know what went up this. Did we put one up this Wednesday?
The most recent one might have been Jocelyn Bell Burnell.
Oh, that was me. That was mine.
I believe.
That was mine. All right. I'll have to listen to how bad it is.
Oh my God! Stop.
All right. So, as always, we have a few things that we would like to promote.
Promotions.
Yes. One, Katie Davison, Wild Ixia.
Wild IXIA.
Yeah.
On Etsy.
Make your way to Etsy and her store and grab all her amazing things. Also, she's going to be at the Digital Users Group Conference, not in person, but her visuals will be on the dome for all the planetarium world to see.
I definitely have to finish it and submit
it.
You
do. You do. Everybody has homework, right? Everybody has homework. Except for me. I don't have to do it. I just have to promote it. Also, check out MrProctorShow.com. Ron Proctor did some music for us, and he has a great website. It's a really deep conversation. The first, it really bounces you to YouTube, but really deep first episode talking about various things about safety with teachers. He also has a store, so you can buy
guitars.
Yeah, and all kinds of stuff, and you can support him. Also, check out rollingbluffsplanetarium.com.
Yeah, Jack's Planetarium. Go there.
Exactly.
If you need a reason to go to the Midwest, is that technically the Midwest?
It's Nebraska, yeah. It's right
that's
in
what
the
I consider.
middle of the country,
then,
I think.
Hey, that's the hit place to be, really. I mean, what else? Is there just corn? Corn and an awesome planetarium?
Aren't they the Cornhuskers? The college?
Is that?
But anyway, check that out.
Very...
And if you do happen to be in Nebraska, please make your way to Jack's site and let him show you the universe. All right. As always, we have a few rules. If a dog barks, take a drink. Yes. The window is wide open, so there might be some barks from Jack. If there is a Star Wars reference, take a drink. And, of course, as always, if there's a Lord of the Rings reference, as always, take a drink. We are going to begin the show with a drink, with a toast to Nichelle Nichols.
On to Nichelle Nichols. I opened Twitter first thing, and I find out that Nichelle Nichols
has passed away.
At the
age of 89 years old.
She was a trailblazer and pioneer of women of color in TV. And
actually to become astronauts.
Just a huge inspiration.
Yeah, so Mae Jemison, astronaut, she inspired her to become an astronaut. And she was instrumental in naming of the space shuttle. The first one was not Columbia, was not Discovery or anything like that. It was Enterprise. That was the first one. That was the one that they used to test things. And she was very instrumental. Wanted to leave Star Trek. Martin Luther King Jr. was like, nope.
I was like, no.
Nope, you need to do it. You are an inspiration.
This is an amazing opportunity. You got
it.
She's like, all right, and she knuckled down and
you can't tell him no. So, all right. So, to Nichelle Nichols.
Yes, and maybe in another universe, she's still chilling around.
That is a very damn good segue. That's what we're hoping here. All right, so let's talk universe.
Yeah, universe. Universe is a pretty all-encompassing word that we've made just to
the thing is though
everything.
Universe has uni in it, which is like one singular, and for the longest time that's what we thought, and that there was just a single universe.
There could be only one, just like there could be only one Earth. There could be only one galaxy.
Yeah. At least we have proof that there are other galaxies and other planets and things like that.
There can only be one Highlander. That's the only thing there can be one of.
All right. So let's actually begin with a definition. This is from Merriam-Webster.
Okay, so this is an official definition out of
so,
a dictionary.
So basically, the universe is all of space and time, and all space and time and all matter, energy, and information that fills it. Easy enough. And
so it's everything.
So everything. And our universe began about 13.8 billion years ago in what we call the Big Bang.
Misnomer.
It is very much a misnomer. And also, it's a very successful theory, the Big Bang is. And so it does a lot of accurate predictions about what happened after the universe was created, but it says nothing about the creation itself. And so how it started. But anyway, so that's it. But here's the question. So what if the Big Bang wasn't the beginning of everything, but only just for our universe?
It was just our Big Bang.
It's our Big Bang. Yeah, so...
There's more Big Bangs.
Yeah, so...
Why wouldn't there be more Big Bangs?
I know, exactly. I mean, that's a pretty simple question. I mean, if you have one, can't you have more?
Yeah.
And so we'll get into all of this a little bit later on. But so let's define multiverse, because we're going to talk about that.
Multiverse.
Multiverse.
Multipass.
It's a hypothetical collection of multiple universes that together comprise all of matter, energy, and information, and all of that exist. So you have the universe, and then you have the multiverse, which is this collection of universes.
Yeah.
Like a galaxy is a collection of stars.
Right. Oh God, it's already starting. It's already starting the mental breakdown. My question is that there's no answer for, and so I guess it's more rhetorical for you. Is then like what's the multiverse in?
Okay.
Is there a word for the space that are the universe and other universe are like?
I mean, okay, so
contained inside of. Are we in anything? All right. That's too much. It's
so
too
the
much.
Greeks actually did have a name, Ultima Thule, which is actually the new name of that. So New Horizons flew past.
Bad guy.
It does. So New Horizons flew past Pluto and then went on to the next stop, which was Ultima Thule, I think. But the Greeks actually had a definition for Ultima Thule, which is what basically held the universe.
Yeah.
So it really melts your brain because then it's like, okay,
because you're talking about things we really can't visualize, conceptualize. It's all just kind of
and our brains just were not have not evolved to think about these things.
I mean, I can't even estimate like what an inch is it.
Yeah, just go with your knuckle.
That.
Just go with your knuckle.
That's right. I keep forgetting that's
your knuckle of your thumb. Just go with that, and it's pretty close. Or 2.54 centimeters. You know, whatever's easiest for you.
Sure.
So our brains when we experience the world, we are inside the house or outside of the house. The house is a physical entity. The universe is a physical entity, so it must be inside of something. A fish is in water. We're in the car. We're outside of the car.
We're in the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, there's definite boundaries.
Right. These boundaries.
You're inside the conservative states of America, and then you're outside of that, and you're in freedom and universal health care and all that kind of stuff. And so... so it's a mind melting thing to think about.
Yes.
Is what is if there are multiple universes? Well, actually, I mean, it doesn't even matter if there's a single universe. what's our universe in? If there are multiple universes,
yes,
what is it
exactly.
in?
Yeah.
I always, all right, so we created a show called Planet Hunters, and the way that I wanted to end the show after the credits was a big wall of snow globes, and each one.
Oh yeah.
Each one had its
like
own.
little, like Men in Black. Yes.
Yeah, so each one had its own like little universe
Mm-hmm.
or galaxy or something like that, and that's just kind of what I would love for it to be.
We're just in a snow globe on a wall, and
There's just some
larger
alien
scheme
kid.
of the cosmos.
There's just some alien kid with all his damn snow globes, and every once in a while he shakes it.
Speaking of globe and snow being very Earth-centric, human things.
All right, so we have a very modern view of what the multiverse is now. But the idea of multiverses is not new. Let's go back to the ancient Greeks.
Yeah, this was before we even knew like that galaxies were a thing.
Yeah, so the ancient Greeks, and in particular the atomist, so the guys who thought up of the concept of the atom, they said that basically the atomists were like, you could cut things in half, and eventually you get to something that you can't cut, and then it's the smallest thing, and it's the atom. And so we create eventually, chemistry, and they're like, hey, we have these atoms, and then we find out the atoms can be cut in half,
They
and
can get even
protons
smaller.
and electrons, and eventually neutrons, and they're like, hey, that's it.
Then
Oh, wait a minute.
And then you go into the just the quarks and the muons and the leptons
The-
and the
yeah, the
big
quarks,
and small and strange
the
and
quarks.
charm and
You're doing good.
okay.
Top, bottom, strange, charm, up and down.
Charm.
And then now it could be strings, which is supposed to be the very bottom.
It's string theory, which this is just, clearly I'm asking this with no context, and we haven't discussed what string theory is. Is that a unifying
Eventually.
philosophy of...
Well, right now it's a philosophy, but I think we're getting to a point where we're going to be able to start testing things on the fringe of
Right.
string theory, and that's going to be a very important thing.
Gotta be able to test shit. If you
Gotta be
can't
able to
test
test
it,
shit, which we'll actually talk about
just
with
an
regards
idea.
to the multiverse in a little bit. But
Alright.
so the Greeks, they believed that infinite parallel worlds arose with the collision of atoms. So every time an atom would hit, boom, you would get this parallel world that just springs into existence.
It's kind of like cells.
Kinda like what?
splitting. Cells.
Oh,
Or,
yeah.
well, no, that doesn't make sense. But, like, like in the sun, hydrogen atoms slam together hard enough and go boop, and you get stuff coming out. Anyway, all right.
All right. Yeah. You do get things that come out, but all right. And then Chrysippus?
Chrysippus?
C.
Chrysippus.
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 Okay, I'm gonna let you say it.
Chrysippus.
I majored in physics, so I wouldn't have to say things.
Chrysippus.
Anyway, 3rd century BCE. He believed that the universe was basically cyclical. It came in cycles.
Cyclical?
Yeah. Big Bang. It evolves. Big Crunch, which leads to a Big Bang. Big Crunch.
Oh,
That type of thing.
okay.
So cycles. Edwin Schrödinger of cat fame.
I like that you have of the cat fame.
Of the
Of the cat fame. Is it alive? Is it dead? It's both. Until you observe it.
Yeah, he said it. His theory, and this was actually to a group. So he was actually speaking to a group. He may have meant this in a joking fashion, in a jocular fashion, but in joking. But he actually said that his theory describes several different histories that are, quote, not alternatives, but happening simultaneously.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Everywhere at once, yeah. And
Which,
so this
apparently was a
was
good movie.
1952 in which he said this.
So a big jump from the Greeks.
Yeah, big jump from the Greeks.
1952. Hey, welcome, Mom. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say that. Sorry, Mom.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. So, what had happened about 20 years prior to this was actually 30 years prior to this was the discovery of the laws of quantum physics.
Okay.
And oh man, Tyson. He actually in a thing that I watched or we watched. I think we watched it together.
Sorry, Mom.
He was like, I've never thought of it this way. The invention of the laws of quantum physics, or discovery. I like the idea of discovery because we didn't invite it.
It's not. It's like
we didn't invent it.
Really, the Big Bang kind of decided on that.
Yeah.
Kind of invented that when it happened because it could have gone any really innumerable number of ways. So we just make shit so that we can find shit out. Oh no, my iPad's gonna die.
We discovered the laws of the small, the laws of quantum physics, which describe the very tiny sizes and dimensions of the universe, so atoms and things like that. Very successful theory, and quantum physics doesn't it. We should do like a series of episodes on quantum physics because it really is mind bending.
And as you love it.
I do love it because it is so friggin' mind bending. That you have this thing called tunneling. There's just all this cool weird shit that comes out of it.
So then, out of the Marvel superheroes, would you be Ant-Man? So you could go quantum.
I'd be Iron Man. I mean, seriously.
Okay.
And then I would get Ant-Man to come in. I'm like, okay, let me borrow your
quantum.
gear.
I'm going quantum.
Going quantum, folks.
Quantum.
And then my little heart thing, I'm going to call it
Did you have
quantum
like a
drive.
water bear as a pet? Like, hey, this is
on the moon.
This is Ted, my water bear.
Yeah. Anyway, so quantum physics actually, when you do calculations in quantum physics, you really don't do
numbers?
No, you do numbers. you actually will get a number. At the end of it, you actually get a series of numbers. You don't really get. So basically, in quantum physics, what you do is you say, this is the probability after doing a calculation. This is the probability that you'll find the electron here. But there's also a probability that's going to be over here. Over here. I have to look at myself now. All right. So Richard Feynman, amazing physicist, was on the Manhattan Project, played bongos. He's the one who figured out how Challenger exploded. During a press conference, figured it out.
You figured it out during a press conference?
Yeah, so they had this press conference, and he's sitting up there, and there's this whole debate about the O-ring and whether it would shrink when it's cold, which then allow the explosion to happen. And he had a piece of it, so he literally put it in his ice water. He measured it, put it in his ice water, and then measured it, and he found that it shrank. Anyway.
Hey guys, here's a simple test you could have done before you built it. Just dip it in some water.
Extremely smart. Amazing set of physics lectures that he did. And liked to play the bongos and go to strip clubs. So.
I mean, to each his own.
Yeah. So, Richard Feynman basically came up with this idea called QED, which is quantum electrodynamics, and he basically says that if you have, so if this microphone shoots a photon to me and goes into my eyes, which is allowing me to see it.
Oh,
most of those 99.999, a lot of nines,
get to your eye,
will go straight to my eye.
Oh, but there's a couple that are like, fuck this, guys.
Yeah.
Let's get out
some
of
of them will actually do this little kind of arc that gets to my eye, but there are like 1 in a gazillion that says, fuck all this, I'm going to the other side of the universe and come back around. And so it basically all the paths. But anyway, so I'm telling you, quantum is great. I love quantum.
So 99.9% of the time, these little things,
photons,
you know, they're like, yeah, we'll do what we need to do.
Yeah, we'll follow the rules, but then you got the little punks.
But every now and then, it's
you
like...
got the punks that are
nah.
like, we're gonna go our own way.
I don't want to go into this guy's eyeball. I'm gonna go to Tahiti.
They're the artists of the photons.
They're the artists.
All right, so let's get back to the multiverse.
Multiverse, yes. Okay, so I'm assuming with the multiverse, then we got a lot of weird quantum shit that needs to happen.
Well, you do. You do, and there's actually a couple of different interpretations of the multiverse, and one of them is quantum.
Okay.
And that's the multi-worlds view of it, and that came about in 1957 by Hugh Everett. I guess maybe he was in Schrodinger's lecture. And it's just like, hey, I'm going to go with this,
all
man.
right,
It really hits me. But it's based on quantum mechanics, and it's kind of a branching timelines kind of thing. And this is the way that it's kind of thought about in like pop culture and you know the way that we typically do it. So
is this like the Doctor Strange version of then these multi-worlds where you have...
Yeah, so basically think of it this way. So in this branching timelines and this multi-worlds way of doing things, you come to a stoplight. You have three options, really you have four.
I'm waiting at the
You can put it in reverse and go backwards.
Oh,
okay. You can go right, straight, or left, or to the left.
I can make a U-turn.
Which is going, okay, 5. I did say going backwards, but in reverse, but okay, we'll say 4, make it a U-turn. So let's just make this really simple. Your choice is just turn left or right.
Okay.
And so you turn left. And because that's Satan's way with left-handedness.
Yeah.
All right, so no, you turn left, but basically a whole new universe pops up in which you turn right.
Oh.
Okay, that's a very...
That's like the...
a sci-fi kind of way of, you know... But basically, in a science way of looking at it is, let's say you're doing a quantum experiment, okay? And so you're doing an experiment, and here on Earth we get a result. And so, but quantum physics says that, like I said, really, when you do the calculation, it really boils down to that this is the probability that something's going to happen. In physics, we do an experiment and we get a result. And with quantum physics, we say we're collapsing the state vector, and that's what gives us the particular result that we see. However, in quantum physics, there's this whole spectrum of results that might happen. There's a lot of probabilities of different things that could happen. So in this universe, you get one thing that happens, but in another universe, the exact same experiment that you're doing, another result happens. And so each universe gets a single result in this experiment. Does that make sense? It's kind of a mind-melting kind of thing. So we get result A in this universe, but in another universe, they get result B, which is another probability result that you might get from this exact same experiment. In another universe, you get the result number C, or letter C, whatever, result C, D, so forth and so on, until all of the probabilities are exhausted. And so in our left-right, turn left-right, there's only 2 possibilities. You can either turn left or turn right, so you just have 2 universes. But for these, in a science way, in these quantum-type experiments, I mean, you can have infinite universes. And in fact, with the multiverse, with the multiverse, it's either going to be, with the universe, it's either going to be one universe, the one that we live in,
I would hope,
or it's really going to be an infinite number
of universes.
It's not going to be something in between. It's not going to be, say, like 10. All right, so we're going to cap out at 10.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be an infinite number of universes. Which is, I hate infinities. I hate them. But who am I? And there's a quote that I found that I'm going to read at the end, and it sums it up. So my hatred of infinities really doesn't matter in the end. You know, the universe is going to universe.
Jack says, collapsing probability was part of Hitchhiker's Guide in the improbability drive.
Yeah.
I want to turn into yarn.
Yarn? That's what you would pick?
It's better than the flower pots.
Okay, no, I got you. All right, well, yeah, so the question then becomes, where are these universes?
Where are they?
Yeah.
Can they hear us?
So where are they? Well, the thing is that they could be happening in the universe. All these things could be happening in a universe that is literally the diameter of like a proton away from us, but it's in another universe. It's in another dimension, and we can't experience it. It's like right here. It's like right here. It reminds me. I was thinking about this. This just came to me while I was in the shower. Because isn't that where it always happens, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this.
Aha moment.
I was thinking about this. So there is a Star Trek Next Generation episode, two-parter, Time Zero Part 1, Time Zero Part 2. Takes place in San Francisco in the 1800s.
Oh, it's Twain. This is the Twain one.
This is a Twain one.
Yes.
It is actually one of my favorite
Yes, I love the Mark
episodes.
Twain one.
And so they go down to this planet because these dudes are like stealing souls out of people.
Yeah,
basically.
they need the life force from the people.
Yeah,
it's the only thing that matches well, or whatever.
It's the only thing they can
gives
eat.
them the best nutrition.
It's the only thing they can eat, and so they come down and they just change the temporal something or other.
Oh yeah, the frequency or whatever.
Yeah,
they're in
by
like
just
a different
temporal variance, by just a slight little thing, and you have all these things that are occurring in this exact same space. It's just that you're out of sync with each other, and so you don't experience. They didn't experience it.
But I mean, like, but even if it's like a different dimension, isn't that still like in our?
I don't think you can think of it that way.
Okay,
I think you can't think. I don't think that.
I can't think of our universe as like just it's one. It's just a thing, like it's its own thing in a region of.
Yeah,
space,
you can't think of it
loosely.
Yeah, you can't think of it as a fishbowl.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, in sci-fi, they always like to say, "Oh, you're thinking linearly." You know, like the Borg, or like, oh, you know, you silly humans just thinking, you think so linearly.
Yeah.
And we can't think that way.
Okay.
If there was just a single universe, yes, you could think that way. Whereas like it's just like a big fishbowl and everything's
so
in
it really is kind of like everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, and that's a quantum way of looking at it. Okay. There is also the way of looking at multiverses, and which is, I think, pretty much the one that most astronomers like. And I'm going to go out and say that they like this because it is inherently an astronomy theory, or stems from an astronomy theory. And so it's not like you have a lot of quantum physics that physicists that are, you know, I mean, they're looking at it, but, you know, this is inherently an astronomy thing, and so I think astronomers are going to gravitate to it.
I was going to say gravitate towards it.
And this stems from inflation. So
not the monetary kind we're experiencing now, folks.
Nope. Oh my God, I went to this grocery store yesterday, and there was things. Oh, I just wanted some Miracle Whip. That's all I wanted. And it was like
$7.
It was $7.
Jesus. Anyway.
But then I was like, you only live once, and I got a little one.
But we're talking cosmic inflation.
Cosmic inflation. And so the Big Bang is really good at describing, what happened after our universe came into existence 13.8 billion years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some issues. There's 3 main issues with it. And for one thing, it doesn't explain the flatness of the universe. The universe, if you look at the space-time, it's very flat. It also doesn't explain things called monopoles. And
wait, what? Monopoles?
Monopoles.
What's
So
a monopole?
think of like magnets. Magnets have 2 poles, north and south.
Okay.
You can also have.
You can have just a north and just a south?
In theory. In hypothesis. We haven't discovered such things.
But then everywhere is just up or down?
Yeah, so, okay, I just
you saw Jack's
I saw Jack
comment
say.
for a recipe for homemade mayo?
Yeah. Please do send that. But also, everywhere we look, the universe is very homogeneous in appearance.
Is it homogeneous or homogeneous?
Homogeneous?
Either or, tomato.
So basically, it looks the same no matter where we look.
Right, just, galaxies, galaxy clusters, black holes.
Yeah.
Just nothing funky going on at one end of the universe versus our end of the universe kind of thing.
Yeah. So
that we've seen yet. Stay tuned, James Webb.
Oh, I know, right? So basically, inflation addresses some of that.
Okay.
And basically what inflation says is that shortly after the Big Bang, we're talking...
Can you, this just came to me. This could be a very bad analogy, so I'm asking, could you make an analogy as like, the Big Bang is like when you put a tablecloth on a table and you go, whew, and there you go. Tablecloth. Homogeneous pattern.
And flat.
It's flat. No? Okay. Moving on. This is what I bring to the table, everyone.
I don't think it's I think there might be some that might be a little better.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got one? No.
This stereotypical 2D balloon. With the balloon
right,
with
the
dots on
balloon
it.
and the dots. All right. Yeah, that's a fun one. God, we really need to get a balloon for that example.
We do. But anyway, we're talking like a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second after the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
The universe experienced this thing called, could try this. This thing that we called inflation. This is an idea that came about in the 1980s to try to address some of these issues with the Big Bang Theory. And the universe basically expanded from the size of an atom to the size of a basketball in like a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was extremely rapid inflation.
That's faster than you can conceptualize something happening. Like,
yeah,
that's faster than...
It's not even in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
It's not even...
Like, you wouldn't even see the transition.
You wouldn't
see...
Oh.
It would be like magic. It would be like it just appeared as a basketball or something.
And going from an atom to the size... Yeah, and so... Yeah, and your brain can't even process it that quickly.
Yeah.
And so... It doesn't sound like a big movement, but it is, and it had incredible implications for the universe. Basically, just minuscule differences in temperature got stretched out to large, regions of space in the universe. Mm-hmm. And that has implications for the formation of galaxies, mm-hmm. which then, stars and all that kind of stuff.
So basically it's like in that super short period of time, our laws of physics were put in place.
Yep.
Essentially. But like a whole wide and infinitely, a number of different things could have happened within that small fraction of time where the laws of physics could have turned out completely differently.
Exactly.
And then in other universes,
okay, we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Okay, so our inflation was a very minute, short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Liz is saying, it did solidify the laws of physics that we experience and love and enjoy every day in our universe.
Forces, what gravity?
Okay, we'll get to it. All right, and so basically, all right, gravity, electromagnetic, the strong
and weak force, they were all one.
They were all one. Yes. All right. So that happened for us, but inflation really could happen anywhere. It's not like it needs to be localized to a single point. So it can happen here, but it also can happen over there, and that inflation can last for a different length of time. Maybe it's longer. Maybe it's still happening as we speak today, but it creates its own universe over there. So it's like you have these little bubbles that are kind of popping up, and in that bubble, because inflation is operating in a different way than here, then the laws of physics, the physical constants that govern the universe, like the gravitational constant and things like that, could be slightly different, which has great implications.
Huge implications
for things. And so if inflation happens one place, it can happen other places. And whereas the multi-world way of looking at the multiverse, and you're looking at your doppelganger, you're looking at yourself.
You should never come in contact with your other universe self.
That person basically can be right next to you in another dimension.
That's how we get ghosts.
That's how we get ghosts.
We solved ghosts, everybody.
Whereas your doppelganger in another universe is like many light years, gazillion light years away from you. Gazillion official
new.
And so yeah, it's a matter of proximity with those two interpretations of the multiverse, and so a couple things. I know that you're going to ask the question of, can you actually go to the other universe? No, not with the way that we understand physics now.
Okay.
So
we need magic that doesn't exist, like Doctor Strange and his time stone. Or no, what stone did he use?
We need a complete understanding of physics and a lot more engineering for us to be able to. I mean, because. Okay, magic. Things that we do today would seem magical to people 2,000 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago.
You know what? So just a sidebar, because that's what I do. But what were we watching last night? We were watching a movie, or what were we watching? I don't remember. Anyway, there was...
we were watching the surfing thing.
Oh, yeah, we were watching a surfing thing. And... they just showed a city, and it's just a city in Portugal, no, they weren't in Portugal. Anyway, they showed a city, a normal city, like think of New York City, San Francisco.
Okay.
You get a city, right? And I was just thinking, I was like, several hundred. This looks totally futuristic to somebody who existed, a couple hundred years ago. This would be like the Jetson city. Minus flying cars, which I'm still, come on, people.
Waiting for it.
But, we do...
Yeah, like when we fought the Revolutionary War, New York looked very different.
Yeah.
Charleston, South Carolina looked very different.
Yeah.
But anyway, so basically a lot of physics is firmly established now would have to be wrong in order for us to visit another universe.
I mean, I would say
But-
let's get people to like Mars first before we try
Yeah.
going to other universes.
But the question is, would you actually want to do that?
No, probably not.
No, because if you go to another universe, remember that the constants of physics, because the inflationary multiverse is probably the more, if there is a multiverse,
probable?
that's probably the
probable?
route the more probable. But the constants of physics, the laws of physics are probably going to be different. And so let's say you go into this other universe and gravity is different, or the strong force is not as strong, to where there's only...
There's nothing holding you together.
Well, but okay, all right. What I was going to say was the strong force is much weaker in that universe. And the strong force really determines the size of atoms. The strong force is in such a way, there's a reason why the periodic table really only goes up to 100-something. And that is basically defined by the strong force. The weak force is actually able to kind of overcome that.
Isn't the weak force technically stronger than the strong force?
No, the weak force is weaker.
Oh, okay.
The weak force is weaker. It operates on a
larger scale.
On a larger
the
scale.
strong force is operating on a small scale.
Yeah, very, very small scale.
Yes.
But weak force actually operates a little bit bigger.
Okay.
But not much bigger, but a little bit bigger. And so if the strong force is greatly weaker in this other universe, to where, say, only the biggest atoms that you can have, or say, are lithium, that means you would get into that universe.
There'd be no oxygen.
No oxygen.
Carbon.
The carbon atoms in your body would disintegrate.
Iron.
All of that would disintegrate.
You would disintegrate.
You would disintegrate. You would have hydrogen, helium, and lithium that are basically left over. That's an extreme example, but or maybe gravity is so much stronger there.
So we would need to develop a protective bubble that maintains a protective bubble. Like, you know how it's you create artificial gravity on future space stations, like 2001.
When you're spinning.
When you're spinning around, you make that artificial gravity, or a spacesuit. You have your oxygen in there. So we would need physics bubbles. We would need
like Elden Ring?
Our universe physics bubbles that keep our physics together in the bubble.
Yeah, and can that bubble withstand the change in physics, the laws of physics?
Well, I don't know, because we are nowhere even near contemplating that question and that technological advancement.
Which leads to the question of, is there proof? Short answer is no. No proof. No proof whatsoever.
Hence why this is very hypothetical and philosophical.
Yeah, so there is a spacecraft called the Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe, the WMAP.
WMAP probe.
WMAP,
that's what you can just call it, the WMAP.
And basically what it does is, what it did was it looked at the cosmic background radiation, and
that's the energy left over from the Big Bang.
Yep, it's the afterglow, and it
smoking a cigarette.
It basically looked at the afterglow of the Big Bang. It measured these very, very small temperature differences within that cosmic background radiation, and we're talking about very, very tiny differences in temperature.
So when they say there's like hot areas and cold areas, it's not like
it's not like
the temperature of our house right now versus putting your hand in the freezer.
It's not like that at all.
It's it's like
a tiny, I don't know, it's like a thousandth of difference, a degree, a thousandth of a degree of difference, 10,000th degree.
It's interesting how when you talk about the universe in this way, the universe is so fucking huge, right? But to understand the universe, you have to look at and think about the extremely small.
Yeah, you do.
Just the polar opposite of.
Yeah, the laws that govern the universe are from quantum physics. That's why I love it. I mean,
the best things are tiny, right, Katie?
Yeah. All right. So in 2010, a physicist named Stephen Feeney claimed that he had found evidence in the W map of the existence of other universes. So basically,
Oh, is this the temperature variations and the bumping?
Yep. And so
The universe
basically,
went bumping in the night.
yeah. And so basically, what he was saying was, all right. So the idea is that if you have all these multiple universes, sometimes they collide into each other.
Like, boop, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, bro.
And so boom, they hit each other. They bounce off. Everything's good, but that collision would then be imprinted upon the W map, upon the cosmic background radiation.
Little bruise.
And so the W map should be able to see it. And Stephen Feeney was like, "Hey, I discovered it." A deeper dive into the W map found that there's no evidence, and so there's no evidence.
So it peer reviewed. It was a no similar findings were found.
Right.
It was not.
Well, and this is the way science works.
It was not verified through.
It was not
peer
verified, review. And Stephen's fine with that. I mean, it's not.
He gets it. He knows science. He understands it. He's not going to be all butthurt and trying to be like, "What? No, it's my way, the highway."
I'm sure he's disappointed. In fact, I would be. I mean, we're all disappointed. I mean, it'd be cool that there would be other universes, but to find that evidence, but we didn't find it. And beautiful example of how science works. Black holes, so pieces of black holes that separated into their own universe via quantum tunneling.
Wormholes?
No,
that's a Einstein-Rosen bridge.
These would have left behind...
Quantum tunneling. Okay, that's like where, hey, on the off chance I could stick my hand through this fucking wall.
Yeah, and so...
Not by...
So quantum tunneling is... I hit the wall here, it stops my hand. However, if I do this a gazillion billion times, another real scientific term, my hand will actually go through it, and I will be on the outside of the house, and I will fall to my death. Because it's on the second level.
I guess not.
I would be hurt.
You can grab the tree, maybe.
Maybe. Quantum tunneling is a very real thing. It happens all the time. It happens inside of our sun and actually allows for nuclear fusion to occur a little bit easier in the hearts of stars. And so protons, as they are approaching each other, they feel the Coulomb force, electromagnetic force wanting to repel them and push them away. And so there's a lot of these collisions that are happening. A lot of the times the speed is fast enough to where they actually can get right next to each other and the strong force takes over. In some cases the speed is not enough for that to happen, and normally they would repel each other, but every once in a while, quantum tunneling, one will tunnel through that what's called the Coulomb barrier and actually fuse with that other proton. So it happens quite a bit. It's a very quantum physics type of thing. There's no evidence of these black holes, though, that have used quantum tunneling to...
Can we detect that? If there was?
Well, there might be. That experimentation is beyond my pay grade, so I'm not really sure how they're looking for it.
CERN?
Yeah, and here's another one which I did not think about, but life itself. So all the things that we need to make us. So I know, right? From longevity of stellar life, to the ability for nuclear fusion, the stability of atoms themselves. For carbon to want to stick around,
all right, I'll form this person.
So these are all parameters that are set by the laws of physics in our universe. And if you were to just have a random universe that comes into existence from a big bang, this is not something that you would necessarily expect. Right? You would think that there would be maybe differences, and it would be exceedingly rare. the probability obviously is not 0,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty damn close to 0 that all the parameters
For
would be
life
right
to
for
be
life
able
to exist. Now,
But with the multiverse hypothesis, thought realm, every possible construction of physics exists.
yep.
And we just because we can think we're here, we just happen to be in the one where
We're in the one that's conducive to
where
life.
It's conducive.
Exactly. And that's why I wanted you to wait on that punchline, because you got there here at the end. So it's yeah. And in an entirely different universe,
Nothing.
yeah, you might not have anything, or life looks entirely different. And when we talk life, we're talking about life as we know it. We only have one data point. There's a lot of diversity on this planet.
Oh my gosh! Again, water bears. Have you seen that shit? Super tiny, look real weird.
Yeah, so there
Adorable
is a lot of diversity to life, but we really only have one data point, and all of this diversity of life is all based on carbon life, even though I think there is some with silicon life.
Silicon life, yeah. You can talk to Hollywood; they know something about silicon life. Right?
I know, right? Silicone. Yeah, so we only have one data point. And so what would life look like in another universe? Can't say. Don't really know.
We can't even tell you what life would look like, across our universe.
But
the possibilities of it.
I know, right? But to quote, oh God, what is it? I can see his face.
What's he look like? Describe him to me. Maybe I'll be able to pick it out.
Jurassic Park.
Life finds a way?
Yeah. Life finds a way.
Fucking Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum, yes. Life finds a way. And all right, so I mentioned that I don't like infinities when it comes to science.
Yeah, you don't like it, but you like it when it comes in terms of love, though.
I like it when it comes to us, but when it comes to physics,
yeah.
And it's because from a physics and science point of view, I understand that when you get an infinity result,
you did your math wrong.
No, it means that your idea is incorrect, at least at that particular thing.
Jack says, that would be terrifying, having your silicone implant suddenly come to life and try to escape. Can you imagine?
Oh, God, I know, right?
Like, let me out!
Or your butt, right?
They do the butt, yeah.
So, I don't like infinities because it typically means things are wrong. So when you apply general theory of relativity to black holes, to the singularity of black holes, the results are infinite. You get infinity, which means that the general theory of relativity is broken down.
Physics is broken. Physics is broken. Just like how physics, because of how physics was solidified in the formation of our universe, it can only go back to 10 to the negative 43 seconds after the Big Bang. Everything before that, we're like, well, we can guess.
Yep, pretty much. Yep. All right, so I don't like infinities, and here was a question that was posed: will we ever be able to prove the multiverse exists? And this is how it connects to my I don't like infinities kind of thing. Tom Siegfried, he's a science journalist, sums it up best.
Okay. Tom.
The universe is not constrained by what some blobs of protoplasm on a tiny little planet can figure out or test. We can say this is not testable, therefore it can't be real. But that just means that we don't know how to test it, and maybe someday we'll figure out how to test it, and maybe we won't. But the universe can do whatever it wants. The universe is going to universe.
Universe doesn't give a fuck.
The universe does not give a fuck.
The universe is a honey badger.
Yeah, and so I might not like infinities. So
but it doesn't give a shit what you think.
The idea of infinite number of universes, the universe doesn't give a fuck. The multiverse does not care. Now, having said that, I really want there to be a multiverse. I don't have an opinion. I'm not going to say that it exists or doesn't exist because science isn't there. but I really want the multiverse to be
But-
there.
And when we are talking about multiverse in a scientific perspective, I mean, we're really talking about like just like different universes with totally different conditions. Whereas I think in the mainstream public, people think multiverse. They think, oh, Doctor Strange, and there's a billion of infinite number of me that are living infinite number of types of lives,
And that you can visit them.
Yeah, and you can
And
travel between them with.
And, you know, to be fair, though, in the many worlds interpretation of quantum physics, yeah.
Okay.
But probably in the more accurate way of the universe. But having said that, like, I'm thinking, like, if the multiverse is real, it's probably stemming from inflation, and it's just because my brain melts down at the many worlds interpretation of it. I don't like the idea, but this is just a personal thing. I don't like the idea of me turning left all of a sudden pops into existence a universe where I turn right. That's just too much branching.
That's a lot of branching if you think about it.
And that's
but then that doesn't that's just this is good hangover territory actually.
Yeah.
But I will say, and then we can continue this in the hangover. But then we're just applying that to then just our actions, not like fucking Leia's over there or the ants, all the ants that are hanging out,
or to life on another world.
Yeah, just the whole.
And so
everything that's in the cosmos.
And I realize infinite. It takes care of it.
Yeah,
Infinite takes care of it.
It's so hard to.
But I don't. For me, I'm just not a fan of it. But
it's messy. It's not elegant.
I see what you did there. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's our show. I think what we'll do is we'll take a little break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a fan.
I need to. Yeah. For the hangover, we're gonna have our swamp cooler on high, and it may be loud. We don't care. It's high.
Yeah, and
I gotta hook the iPad up to a charger because it died, so I can't use it to control shit.
All right, so thanks for joining us, and I hope your brain is still with us. I mean, it really kind of melts down. It's a very interesting topic, and who knows what we'll talk about in a couple of weeks, but we'll see you then. We'll probably figure it out Saturday, 2 weeks from now.
Probably.
No, we have to figure it out at least by that Friday so we can promote it on that Saturday. But anyway, join us. Everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, fight for, not to steal a line from the Beastie Boys, but fight for the rights. Also
to party. You can fight for your right to party as well.
Yeah. We're under assault. Many of us are under assault. And to Nichelle Nichols.
To Nichelle, I don't have any more, but to Nichelle Nichols.
Cheers, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Alright, I gotta manually do this because my iPad broke down, so we'll be right back.
We'll fix it in post.
Hey, hey!
Hey, everybody.
We're back.
Welcome back.
We're back for the hangover.
Would you want to meet yourself in another universe? Let's just say that we could go to another universe. Would you want to meet yourself? And what would you say? What would you tell yourself?
You know what? Yes. Because I have a feeling... Well, no, because there would be an infinite number of me. It depends what kind of me. Because I would want to meet the me that is very receptive to all my puns. And validates my comedic humor.
I think that your pun nature transcends all
universes. I am transcendental. I'm a transcendental plumber. Punner.
You're
transcendental punner.
You are a.
If I had a comedy special, it would be called Liz Davison, Transcendental Punner.
Or, Pun Buddha.
Pun Buddha.
You're a pun Buddha.
That's fine, but I'm not very peaceful in all my. You're right, Katie.
No,
every version of me is
transcendental in puns.
Puncidental.
Yeah, if it makes you feel bad, I'm not very
transcendental.
I'm not very when I get killed in Elden Ring. No, I get really pissed off.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I just want to have fun with you. I don't.
Oh, it's when we get invaded, yeah, and people come in and it
tired
turns into
of the
a
friggin'
PvP
invaders.
situation. And I've never been good at PvP in MMO or in any game, whether it be a MMO.
I mean, we get some of them.
We
get some of them, but in these worlds that we're in now, it's tougher, which is good. But you know what? I really just want to have fun with you, and I want to deal with all these 13-year-olds.
So, we are being killed by 8-year-olds. But anyway, would you like to meet yourself?
The thing is like you said, there's an infinite versions of yourself that you meet.
Oh my God, could there be that means there would be can you imagine this? Like a really preppy cheerleader valley girl.
Oh yeah.
Version of me. Or a super right-wing conservative version of me.
Which is yeah.
Or a super religious version of me.
Isn't that what you just said?
Well, they're not necessarily. Well, okay, fair, but.
I don't know. It would be like meeting somebody completely different. It just happens to look like me. Maybe.
Yeah, I think if we're with Jack, we would just annoy the shit out of ourselves.
Yeah, so
I don't be all annoyed with ourself, basically.
So I don't like really being around other people anyway.
Yeah.
And so this person, though they look like me,
is another people.
It's just another people, and I don't think I would really. I think it'd be interesting to. Hear how their life turned out and how things were different. But then, but I would just want that to be in the form of an email.
Text me. Hey.
Text me.
Other Liz, just text me how your life is going. What you're doing.
Text me what you do. 20
text
seconds soundbite.
Text me what happened if you never moved to Phoenix.
So, yeah, and, it's... It hurts your brain to think about,
yeah.
but it also...
The universe just hurts your brain thinking about it, really.
But, part of me is also hey, you know what? There is another me in another universe that became president and, protected a woman's right to choose or, marriage equality and things like that. And so, but at the same token, there's another me that's in another universe is just squashed all that shit. It's just...
There's that threw away their "my body, my rights" sign when it went back to the abortion argument versus a mask argument.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing to think about, and that's just us. There's infinite possibilities just for me alone, for you,
okay,
for everybody else as well.
But everybody, that means there are an infinite number of Captain Jack Sparrows, the dog.
Yeah. That's
Also,
true.
Captain Jack Sparrow, and Johnny Depp, and then Jack. But Jack, can you infinite number of Jackies
And Leia's.
and Leia's and
And
Poes
maybe-
and Winters
Maybe
and
there.
Aces and
there-
Geordies?
Just think, there is a Leia out there that is
That's
not as
not
neurotic.
anxious.
God, if there's any dog that is a poster child for the need for weed.
Oh my god. My mom asked, would these other worlds be in the same basic time frame, or would it be the caveman of me and my mom's caveman mom?
Well,
Well,
the thing is, it's like, okay, but this like us.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
how
it's
much-
hard to say. It's
I
hard
mean-
to say how the because it's not just this person.
And this is the multi-worlds
This is the multi-worlds interpretation.
So that means, is everything happening at the exact same
Yeah, it's time branching. It's time branching, so it's all concurrent.
So it's all concurrent. So we wouldn't have a caveman mom.
Not at this
That
point.
would be funny.
So, all right. So, I have made the decision to pick up my drink. In another universe, I left it right here, which means you're still sitting next to me. We're still doing this podcast, which means you're still listening to us. It's just that in this particular universe, it is all created because I picked up a drink.
This makes my indecisiveness and anxiety even worse if I think about that, because then it's like, what do I do? Which one am I going to do? I don't know. Oh no, I've decided to pick mine up as well.
Well, that's the whole thing about, like, you know, when they talk about like time travel and like, you know, it's like there was Star Trek version of it was.
Go
So
with time travel.
Oh, it was the Star Trek version, Star Trek Next Generation, that had Kelsey Grammer in it, where they were stuck in the time loop, and so the Enterprise was destroyed time after time after time. And they looking at the data because of data.
Because he's not affected, right?
He's not affected. He's able to figure things out. But yeah, and
is it Data's Groundhog Day?
Yeah. So he figures it out. And you know, Picard's like, well, what if I make a decision? You know, I mean, it's a trope. It is a time travel trope.
Right.
And
But you kind of, I mean, you can't really escape those tropes, though.
No, you can't. And so you can't start thinking about if I make this decision, if I make the wrong decision, if I don't make this decision, how do I make the decision? Because then you become paralyzed. You can't think of it that way. All you can do is just make your decision, whatever it is.
Just
pick up your drink, don't pick up your drink.
Just do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart.
But not only is it me picking up my drink, it could be, okay, I picked up my drink and now I put it down. Maybe I pick it up this far and then I put it down. Maybe I take a drink.
I can't even. It's just too.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm making universes.
Oh God.
What I did,
so
I'm making
many universes. I think that I am with you, and I prefer the
inflationary
multiverse, because it doesn't seem. It seems more plausible.
Yeah.
And more likely, because you can't. It just doesn't seem like it would make sense to have infinite versions of the. You know, our reality is only one version of an infinite many of realities of the same shit. So
right, and I realize I'm coming at this from a very linear way of. It's a very human way.
What can we do?
I know, right?
We can only think linearly.
It's a very human way of looking at it, in that just the whole quantum way of doing it just scares the shit out of me. I just can't wrap my brain around it. And it does, if you start thinking about it, it does paralyze you with decisions, like you were saying. Whereas with inflationary, it just pops up. Sure, there's another me somewhere, but it's like, way over there. I will never meet them.
There's another me out there that's eating right. I'm going to go eat a bunch of shit right now. The other me's handling being healthy.
Yeah, and so
The other me's going for a run. I'm gonna sleep in today.
yeah, but also in the other me, there's another you that's sleeping in, and you might want to take that run. Like today, oh, I should have taken a run. You got up. Okay, so, well, in another universe, I did take the run, but
You did it. I'm proud of you.
yay! That's gonna be. So when I have my reviews from my boss,
But
I'm be like, hey,
in
in
another
another universe,
universe.
I fucking did it, man. So I did it. So you gotta give me 100%. But yeah, but this morning, I really was going to. I was like, okay, so if Liz gets up early, keep in mind we were up until was it
One.
one? Was it one or
It was
two?
it was about 1:30.
It was
That's
1:30.
later than we normally would stay up on a weekend.
Well, yeah, but we were playing Elden Ring. And so we were playing Elden Ring, and so we go to bed around 1 o'clock. And I can't just go to bed; I have to read. And so I'm reading Lord of the Rings, and so I have to spend a little time reading. But I was like, okay, in 3 hours I have to get up and feed the dogs. 3.5 hours. All right, I'll go back to sleep. I'll get up. I'll probably play a little Elden Ring. Was I playing Elden Ring this morning?
When I got up, yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, all right. So when Liz gets up, if it's early enough, I'll go for a run. I didn't do it. I mean, that's the punchline. But in another universe, I did. So somewhere in another universe, I'm losing the weight, but not in this universe.
And somewhere in another universe, I'm sleeping until like 1 p.m.
Oh, you know what's great? In another universe, we're trillionaires and we live in Hawaii.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, okay.
Can you swap places? Can you kick yourself out of another universe?
For anybody that is not in Utah, can you guys please play the Powerball?
Buy us a Powerball ticket.
I don't know if anybody won yesterday, because I think you do it on Saturdays, and I don't know, there's another day of the week. But if nobody won, can you guys play when I live in Utah? This is Jesus land, and
We
so
have to go out of state to buy a lottery ticket.
and I really do like Oregon, but I will move to Hawaii in a heartbeat. Maui.
Yeah, I just think about the hassle of getting the dogs and their vaccinations and then all that paperwork and then like
Yeah, but
I mean
when
they're
you're-
vaccinated, but
when
you
you're a
gotta-
multi-millionaire,
then, oh my god.
oh fuck, somebody won,
Oh no, Illinois.
but they won like
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Jeez, man. All right. Well. Anyway.
Meanwhile, in another universe, that person lost $1 billion.
I gotta tell you though, they came up with the best slogan though, because you can't win if you don't play. There's no refuting that slogan of buying those tickets. You can't win if you don't play, and they came up with the most perfect thing because you can't argue with it. You can be like, well, yeah, but I could save I could not spend $2 or $5.
But Tyson calls it a tax on ignorance.
Yeah, I mean, mathematically, statistically.
Yeah,
but
it's a tax on
to tell
ignorance.
that to that person in Illinois, you just won $1 billion, they're like, hey, take your tax and shove it up your ass, Tyson.
But how many people played? How many people played?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, and so, I mean, your chances are of winning, I don't know.
Your chances are
Like 1 in
almost as high
30 million.
as meeting yourself from another universe.
Oh no! Oh god! You would win with those odds. You win the lottery all the time.
I know. I was making just a.
Yeah. So
A flippant
I mean,
joke.
yeah. What it is like you just don't. You are.
I have a question.
You're sucked in.
Since we're just on this topic randomly, if Federico is still watching, I would like to know if he's in Italy, right? You're in Italy,
Yeah.
Federico. If you guys have like a lottery, or if it's just some weird American shit that we do here, because I don't have a perspective of
Because we're American.
Yeah, because we're American and
We're in the center of the universe.
oh god, we're just.
The Americans are the worst.
Ah,
No,
really.
the French are the worst.
Anyway, okay. My mom asked, so are these multiverses like mirror images of the
No,
universe?
mirror images left, right. I mean, sure. There's some going to be where I'm left-handed,
But also then that's focusing on the multi-world interpretation versus the inflation interpretation, where it's like you have like, you know, whatever. Is it still infinite?
Yeah, all right. So here's the thing about the inflationary. So there would be infinite universes, like I said.
But all just with different physics and different...
Right, but with, here's the thing, infinite. So that means that there are infinite universes where physics is not conducive to life. Mm-hmm. There are also infinite universes that are conducive to life, which also means that there are infinite worlds where there's me. There's infinite universes where there's you. Because infinite, there's no end to that number. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said if you can have one, you can have, it's either one or infinite. Okay, don't slide off. All right, it's either one or infinite. It's not like you can say, okay, there's gonna be 1 or 10.
Well, then you have to err on the side of infinite, because the chances of there being only one seem highly improbable.
Right, and so here's the thing. All right, I said, okay, so in my notes I said here are so where's the proof? The W map, you know, turns out there's not. Black holes, turns out there's not. As of right now. Keep in mind these are as of right now.
Yeah.
But I also said life itself. Now, to me, life itself is a very... now we're in this philosophical shit. This is very religious.
What is life?
This is very religious sounding to me.
It's not a fucking embryo, I'll tell you.
However...
Although it is, but it's not, but it is.
Right? All right, however, the thing is that... when you look at the life itself argument, and this does make physicists like a little bit uncomfortable
because it's not. Squirmies? Does it give them the tummy squirmies?
Right, because it's not science. Technically, it's not science.
Right.
But when you look at it from the point of view of the chances that the strong force is going to have the strength that it has versus the strength that gravity has versus the weak force and everything is just fine-tuned to there being life in this universe. And so it does give physicists the squirmies, but when you look at it in that way, you you almost can't help. You have two options. You have two options.
Okay.
The first option is that there is a sky daddy that has made the universe and has fine-tuned the universe in which life can exist.
I don't like that one. Okay. That gives me the squirmies.
Yeah, the second option
especially
is...
the tales they tell about these sky daddy, not good.
The second option is that the Big Bang occurred in such a way in which all of these things line up for life as we know it to exist. Now, from a random point of view... and this actually ends up like kind of splitting. From a random point of view, that doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. The chances are that you're going to have it so finely tuned for life to exist, or just minuscule. It's not, obviously, it's not zero because we are here.
Yeah.
However, when we look at the universe and we see that that there's dark energy. We know that the universe is not, at least this universe is not cyclic. And so you're left with the option of it's gotta be multiple universes.
I just realized
you're so excited
with your random talk, that just gave meaning to the high school band I never had with one of my best friends at the time, where we named our band that we didn't have Random.
Yeah
because we were random.
So it's yeah, and I really think there are multiple universes out there. It makes sense to me.
It makes sense, yeah, because, it's pretty random for us to fucking be here, so,
But You know, when
you just is a configuration that happened in this inflationary period, but another one, it's like, well, there's nothing, or there's too many stars, or there's, it's crunching all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
Yeah, and so it makes sense to me, but that doesn't mean shit. That means jack shit. And with regards to science, I can say I want this to happen all the time, all day long. But if science isn't there, then it's not reality. And I'm just basically believing in another form of a sky daddy. But, it's like Bill Nye when he went to the Creation Institute.
When he argued
Creation Museum.
Ken Ham?
Ken Ham, yeah, that's
when
his
he had
fucking
the
name.
debate with Ken Ham, and we're like, it's pointless to debate him because he doesn't. But I thought Nye did a pretty good job.
He did a great job, but he was asked a question. He was asked a question.
Oh, would you change your?
Yeah, and
would you change your view?
Yeah, and he said yeah because basically I'm paraphrasing because that's how science works.
Yeah, if
but
there's
Ken
other
Ham,
data.
Ken Ham, and okay. To be honest, in this world, we do tend to vilify the other side. And, okay, great, Ken, you believe what you believe.
Stop being an asshole about it.
But don't... He probably is. But I can't think of anything where he hasn't been, where I've read that he... The only thing I've ever read is, like, hey, the Earth was made in 6 days, 6,000 years ago. But anyway... But I'm sure that he believes all the other bullshit that goes along with it.
I think it's about that much.
Yeah. But Ken Ham was like, no, I would not change the way that I think. No. He would just try to find some other interpretation in the Bible. Like with evolution. Because, like, the really great, to me... and I think your mom is going to love this, maybe, is that when you look at dogs, you have wolves.
So cute.
You have wolves, but then you also have chihuahuas.
And you go, what happened?
And so what happened?
Read happens.
There we go. What happened between wolves and chihuahuas? Even though chihuahuas think they're wolves.
Napoleon complex.
Yeah. And it's evolution. And so how do you get from here to there? And basically Ken Ham says that that all dogs have
go to heaven.
All dogs do go to heaven. That doesn't exist. But anyway, all dogs have, I think he called it wolf kind. What do you remember?
Yeah, they're in kinds. They use
kinds now.
They use kinds, where it's like, no, humans specifically manipulated their genomes to get the temperaments and looks they want.
So the implication to that argument is that you can have two chihuahuas meet up in an alley somewhere.
Which I'm sure they do.
And they make another chihuahua.
Oh, I thought there was going to be a chihuahua fight, but okay. Yeah, this also definitely happens.
There is the chance that they're going to make a wolf. And that's not how it works.
That's not. Can you imagine? I mean, look, there was a pit bull and a mix of a Shih Tzu and a poodle that met up in an alley somewhere and made Jack. Captain Jack Sparrow, not Jack. And there is no way that Jack would ever come out as a wolf.
No.
And also, he wouldn't be as cute.
But it's also that you can have these chihuahuas hook up and they make like a poodle. Or
that's like
Captain Jack.
That's like us making a black child.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. It's not.
No.
There's no.
Yeah.
The DNA isn't gonna do that.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you can believe what you want to believe. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it correct, I should say.
Correct. Uh-huh.
But also, you should not legislate your morality onto other people.
I mean, that's a given.
You can. I mean, look at the shirts we're wearing. You can believe what you want to believe, but that is you. is the main word there. You can believe what you want to believe.
But what I believe should apply to everybody else because I believe it and I have the best perspective of the world because I'm experiencing it through my eyes. And I don't care about anybody else because it's my beliefs or the highway.
But looking at it from a lens of a multiverse, everybody else's opinion and thoughts are also equally valid. It's not like these universes in the multiverse are invalid. They're not. They are very valid places within the multiverse. Like Ken Ham's opinion. But you know what? Mine is equally as important. I might not have as many people that know me or would follow me on social media or so forth and so on. However, my ideas are just as important. And the problem is when they start legislating this shit, these religious beliefs onto people, and what happens is you end up with women that are now forced to carry babies. It's basically they're forced to carry them, whether it is these are people that these women in most cases want to carry their babies. However, in some cases, the baby might have some sort of genetic issue. Maybe they were raped or incest. They should not be forced to do this.
But there's a universe out there where they don't have to.
But it's not here.
My mom says it was advantageous for wolves to be friendly with us and involved. I think the wolves made a bad decision.
I think Jack disagrees with you on that.
Wolves should be our overlords.
Oh, shit.
Or maybe, I don't know. I mean, ants figured out air conditioning for themselves long before
we did.
I think humans figured out fire. So, I mean, ants pretty much have a good plan. Not democratic, clearly. Definitely a monarch system, but...
Yeah, your mom says scary as hell are these white Christian nationalists. Yeah, you know, what is it? It's militant Jesus.
Army of God. The Army of God.
Yeah, it is.
The Army of Sky Daddy's Army.
Sky
Daddy's Army.
Patriotic militant Jesuses. Which, you know, what do they call every fucking Christmas? They say, you know, Prince of Peace. And that's what Christianity tries to define Jesus as.
I mean, the things that I know of are like, "Thou shall not kill."
Yeah, no, that's all pre-Jesus though.
Oh, right, that's right.
It's all pre-Jesus.
And then what I do know that Jesus was just like, "Hey guys, you guys remember like there's Judaism, and maybe we don't with this whole many gods with their very human psychological issues because they were modeled after humans, the pantheon of Greek and Italian and whatever gods." But I was like, "Hey guys, what do you think about Judaism back here? And maybe like we just be like cool to each other, and like maybe not do this shit." But that's if he existed, which there's no evidence to
yeah, so these Christian nationalists,
contemporary historians at the time, if they were like had this progressive dude that was causing a stir in ancient Rome, they would have totally wrote about him, but didn't.
Yeah.
So therefore,
yeah,
chances are no actual Jesus, and it's just an allegory of different various mythological heroes throughout various mythological texts and ear hand-me-downs.
Yeah,
that's what ear hand-me-downs is what I'm calling oral stories, ear hand-me-downs, which we've all played telephone, and that is a really great game.
Yeah.
Everything is translated perfectly 100% of the time.
Always, completely. So, like, you know, these Christian nationalists who they forget the whole first part of the Bible, first half.
That's the real, like...
Well, that's because, you know, Jews. But they will cherry pick from it, and they'll say... They
do like when God floods stuff.
When he what?
When he floods stuff.
Oh yeah,
they love that.
Yeah, but it's going to be, hey, it's typically, hey, you know, women are subservient, and you know, gay people. That's what they do. And then they go to the New Testament and they're like, oh Jesus, But they kind of ignore those four books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They kind of ignore those because, Jesus is talking about, like, peace and, turn the other cheek and love thy neighbor
Being,
and
like,
shit like that.
cool.
But then they really love the back half of the New Testament, where it's just like, oh yeah, gay people, we don't like gay people anymore. And Revelations, where you got warrior Jesus. You got Jesus with a fucking sword or something.
Oh, he gets a sword? He levels up and gets a sword?
Well, in Revelations, he fights the devil, right?
Oh,
so
I don't know. I've never read any of it. And I had one of those little Precious People Bibles. The little, the little, I think that was probably from, like, a grandparent mom, I'm assuming. The little Precious People. I've never actually read it. I should, though. But, God, I just don't have the will. Just seems not my style of. I won't be entertained by it enough.
I think though that it's just like, I think we would have too many questions. That, like, then nobody could fucking answer.
We'd be like, wait a minute.
Nobody can answer.
But what about?
And then we would have to. And then we'd have to.
No, because you just have to have faith.
Oh God!
Just
but
have faith. It's God's plan. Have faith. It's God's plan. That's just the.
Yeah.
That's the placebo that you have to take.
And actually, to bring this back to multiverse.
Yes, let's do that.
No, to bring it back is you use faith, and so Paul Davies. Paul Davies actually is one of the people on this planet Earth that is authorized to talk to aliens if they ever come here.
I think we've talked about this before, but I just love the idea that there is actually a person on this planet that has authorization to talk to aliens.
Yep.
Like, you have alien clearance. Like, you have alien clearance.
Yeah.
You have a badge that says alien clearance. Like,
yeah.
You don't get access to other top secret shit, but you have alien clearance.
And you can put that on your resume.
I got extracurricular activities, whatever, special awards. Alien clearance. I am the sole person on this planet that is authorized to talk to aliens.
So he doesn't like the idea of multiverses in terms of science.
I can see. It's not really. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely very hypothetical and kind of like a,
right.
Just like kind of like a wishing on a star kind of a thought
right.
process.
And so what he does is he compares it to religion, and he says, because it's not testable, currently it is not testable.
Could it be testable?
Do I need to read that quote again?
No.
The universe. So right now it's not testable.
Yeah.
But in the future it might be. And the universe doesn't care whether it's testable or not.
No.
But because it's not testable now, and he doesn't think that we'll ever be able to test it, it falls into the same category as religion, and you have to take it on faith.
But nobody's worshiping it. Nobody's making rules about it. Nobody's defining it as a way of life for other people or anything like that. It's really just kind of like, it's really, I would say, just a thought experiment, whereas, religion in the sense of institutionalized religion being beyond an individual's faith or belief system and how they want to perceive the universe and their existence. It's defined into certain rules and things, whereas this is just kind of like a thought experiment of like, hey, we're thinking about universes, like, what about other ones that are out there? What could that be like? Blah, 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 blah. But there is more so a scientific basis to it, even though it's not something that can be tested, like string theory. String theory can't be tested yet. It could be in the future, you know, but it's more of a just a little like science brainstorming session,
right?
you
And
know, possibility,
right? And those lead to scientists having conversations and finding ways in which they can test
it. So the
fringe things at first.
yeah, it's
the
like wait a minute,
edges.
it's like Copernicus is like, dudes, pretty sure the Earth is at the center of what I'm gonna call the solar system. Well, he didn't call it the solar system, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but it took the advancement of technology for then Galileo to be like, hey, Dutch guy. Dutch guy.
Oh, starts with an L.
Dutch guy with your Liebe. I can't remember his name. Fuck it.
Were you gonna say Lieberditch, which is not.
Not. Hey, Dutch guy with your spyglass. Can I borrow that? And then he goes, hey. I found it!
But more importantly, I'll write this shit down and let everybody know.
Yeah, it just is kind of like, there's more of a realistic basis to that line of thinking, than there is, say, a Sky Daddy, which can never be.
Yeah,
you need to have, like, Sky Daddy come out of the clouds and be like, I am here! And it better be a Sky Mama. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Although, based on the stories, definitely a douchebag. Fat boy.
Okay, but here's the thing. Religion, they give religion props. It's due.
Oh.
Originally was a way of explaining the universe.
Oh, yes.
And so...
Okay. No.
No. Yeah, I know.
There's a difference between, when we say religion today, we mean, like, institutionalized religion versus belief systems and things that were used, yes, as a way to be like, we don't know why it rains, but we know we need rains for our food, so we're gonna just
invent a god.
We're just gonna be like this thing here, and we're gonna do certain things, and it happened to work once where it rained after we did it, so we're just gonna do that.
Just keep doing it. So, but in a perfect world, you come up with an idea. Hey, there's these gods. Gods make it rain. And so the rain's coming down. Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, I just prayed this certain way. I did this thing. I ripped a heart out of somebody and it rained.
Oh, you're going with the human sacrifice route. Yeah. We're going like Mayan?
Sure, whoever wants to do it. And so it rained. Oh, we're going to do this again.
Yeah.
Oh, but it didn't happen.
Uh-oh.
And so...
do it again until it happens again.
All right, so let's try it one more time just to be sure.
Oh, it rained again.
Well, you had to verify. Oh, but then it rains again.
Shit!
And you're so
confused. All right!
But anyway, so as you get more data points, you really should start to leave some of this stuff behind. And, to be honest, Jews and Christians and, Muslims and stuff, they did. It's not like my parents who are uber religious will pray to God for it to rain, even though there's fuckers in Florida that do this.
No, I mean,
but anyway, our governor, Utah, did it.
Oh yeah, pray for
Spencer
rain
Cox.
in Utah.
Anyway,
Jesus.
So in a perfect world, you start to leave some of this stuff behind, and and eventually you don't have a society where you are clinging to the Sky Daddy beliefs. I just don't understand it. The world is so different than it was today than it was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And if anybody's religious that's listening to this, I'm not attacking your religion. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but I kind of am, but I'm not.
I remember I had taken a very interesting, it was a religion class at a community college before I moved out to Phoenix. It was like, I can't remember what it was called, but it basically, it was like, it really kind of went through the evolution of religions throughout the world and history, and kind of disseminating from the just individual belief systems and kind of like a community of belief systems to this institutionalized religion that we have today and the evolution of religion from like a pantheon of gods to a monotheistic god system is all dependent on how much technology, the advancement of technology in its society and everything like that. And I think as humans, we have evolved our brains to the point where we can't like not accept not understanding something.
Yeah.
That it's too hard for us to just go, we die and nothing happens, or, you know, my loved one was taken from me with no reason, you know, the Big Bang, and how did everything, and black holes, my brain melt. Like, we can't take that brain melting sensation. Most of us, there has to be an explanation, there has to be a reason, because we need that for whatever purpose. Why am I here? Why do I exist? Why? People always need the why. It's like we're 2-year-olds. We need the why. Why? Until you run out of answers and you go, it just is. It just is, you know.
I really like that. We're 2-year-olds.
We're 2-year-olds, basically.
In the horse and buggy days?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I get that. People need that why. They need that explanation. They need that reason for their being, that, you know, all this is to go someplace better, or because, you know, we'll see other people again, or there's a higher power to our existence. There's a higher reasoning. And I get that. That's totally human and makes sense. And from a human psychological standpoint, you can look at that evolution throughout history and how we've adjusted, you know, that thinking to then, once we actually learned the reality of the way something happened, weather systems, seasons, the tilt of the Earth's axis, you know, that sort of thing, we've adjusted and adapted and you know, made explanations. And then, you know, there's always that, it's the the limit of once you reach the limit of your understanding, that is when even the most brilliant scientists or minds will then invoke a divine intervention.
Right.
You know, that's when once they get up to that limit, they can't explain any further. Then after that further, they go, God did it. You know.
Yeah,
and that's the scapegoat way out. And I mean,
that's why you get intelligent design.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense as a species why I get why we do that. And then there's some of us that go, well, we don't need to do that. We don't need the why. You know, we can't wait to learn a why later on if that happens in our lifetimes. But at this moment, we don't necessarily need that why to be satisfied with our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely love. I'm going to pop off one day. I mean, I'm going to do it.
Really?
Yeah, we're all doing it.
We're all going to pop off?
Yeah, it's
like Pop Rocks?
Yeah, it's the latest trend.
Trend is popping off?
It's the latest trend. We all pop off. So
I wish we did pop, like literally just a...
God, that'd be epic.
That would be fun.
I'm
gonna pop, guys.
So I'm going to die one day. I'm going to pop off. I would love to see you again one day.
That'd be great.
That would be great, but it's just not the way...
I mean, look, okay, everybody out there, I'm saying this, it's recorded now, that if there's more to death, I will come back and haunt you. I will come back and haunt, and you'll know it's me, because there will be puns and just, irrelevant things said.
We should do the Houdini thing, and I will tell you something I'm going to do.
I can't remember what it was
now. Yeah, but we have to write it down, because I can't remember it either. And so, yeah, and I am not so close-minded that I'm going to say there's nothing after death. I'm really sure there's not.
I need proof.
I don't want to say that I am 100% that there's nothing after death.
I'll say when there's 100% nothing.
I mean, deep down, yeah, that's what I believe. But anyway, that's not how science works. But anyway, yeah, and I would love to be able to see you again. But I know that when I die, it's not like I'm thinking about anything. We like to think of, like, okay, when I die, I'm going to be able to see people crying about me.
You need this mushy thing in here, protected by a hard thing.
Yeah,
this mushy thing does some things that make me think,
when you die,
I want a hamburger.
Yeah, when you die, you don't know anything. All right, what is your memory before you were born? That's what it is
I
after
can't even
death.
remember. I don't even know what my first memory is.
Okay, I will say this, and this is a really weird thing, and I'm not sure that it's going to make sense.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay. A couple of years ago, I had surgery.
Ah, okay.
And I was out.
Mm-hmm.
I literally went. I remember them saying something to me.
Did they have you count backwards?
No. They were talking about something, and then I woke up with a nurse yelling at me to breathe on my own and not the machine I was on. And all I wanted to do was go back to sleep. There is no memory of in between. It was blackness. It was darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's what death is.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
I think
remember
it is.
anything about it.
Okay. Just comment on my mom's comment here that Gail is a family friend. Her mom said she'll leave a penny to let her know she's around, so we laugh and say hi when we find a penny. She died a while ago. That's not... There's pennies everywhere. You find pennies all the time. I doubt Gail's mom's telling me hi. Letting me know. I've never met her.
Yeah.
When I find a penny. Although, if it's what Lincoln signed up, it's good luck.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be.
Heads up. Yeah.
Heads up.
Heads
Good
up.
luck. Heads
Good
up.
luck.
Good luck. But don't step on a crack or you break your mother's back. Mom,
Yeah,
is your back
I
broken?
really-
Because I've stepped on a lot of cracks. My back is more broken than my mom's back.
I do really have a hard time with that because I really, like, when we're walking,
I know you avoid that.
I really try to avoid the cracks, and I don't want to be like, oh, he's really consciously trying to avoid cracks. But I it's hard to, like, change up my steps sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I don't like stepping on cracks.
I know your back's small.
But your back is not okay.
No, that's why I said my back's worse than my mom's back's. That gymnastics. Jack's first memory was a very sticky water slide.
Okay.
I really don't know what my first memory is because I've had so many, like, there's just so many stories in my memory of things, you know, like, I can't, and then videos and pictures that I've seen that I don't know what is, like, a real memory and what is, I'm just, like, my memory is just of the third person of me watching a video or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, so my mom's mom, my grandmother, my mama posted, she had gone into hospital. She was going to have surgery for something, and she did not know she was allergic to some sort of medication. Massive heart attack. Massive. Like 80% of her heart was just, you know, gone at that point.
Wow.
So, she, very religious lady, you know, she had this whole stereotypical out-of-body experience where she saw her body being worked on, and, you know, but that's not a hard thing to visualize. Like, if I really tried hard enough, I could say, hey, you know, I could see them working on my heart.
Well, and that's also your brain. I mean, science has proven, medicine has proven that your brain plays tricks on you to...
Right, but also, yeah, I mean, going to that point, she was like, you know, family members met me, and, you know, it was, hey, it's not my time to go. Keep in mind, she's like, you know, 120 years old at this point when she's had this, so it's, but yeah, I mean, sure, that is what I want to believe. I want to say I'm going to see my mom one day, you know? I want to say I'm going to see you.
His mom is fine, by the way.
Oh yeah, my mom and dad are fine. I want to see Jack one day.
Wait, which Jack?
Jack
Bolt?
is fine. Captain
Jack?
Oh, and how does this
Jack
fucking
wants
work?
to see you in heaven, Jack.
How does this work? How does this work? Okay, so 1,000 years from now, me and Liz are hanging out up in heaven. We got a heart. We got our wings.
Yeah.
Even though it would be much more fun in hell. But anyway.
I mean, okay, let's look at the requirements for
But
heaven.
anyway, no.
All right.
No, okay, hold on. Hey, let's go visit Jack. How does that work?
What addresses? What address system? Maybe it's like Mormons. Everybody gets their own planet. Well, all men get their own planet. We don't know what happens to the women. They were just with the men they
No.
were married to on their planet.
Well, okay.
They get a moon.
Their entire job is to satisfy men sexually, according to what I heard
All
from
religions.
Yeah, what else? Yeah.
My mom's going to the Rainbow Bridge though.
Well, there's more dogs there.
On the Rainbow Bridge.
Well,
I
want to
go wherever all the dogs are.
They're
All
on
the
the
animals.
they're on the other. You have
Wherever
to cross
all
the bridge.
the animals are. The cute
You have to cross the
animals.
bridge, and that's where all the dogs and cats and
Mhm.
chickens and gerbils and. Hey, Ron Potter
Gerbils.
likes chickens.
Yeah,
So
that's true. What about all the bacterians, the little things like
they don't count.
water bears, which has been a theme of.
They don't know about Jesus. They don't know about Jesus. And
What
actually,
about plants?
technically,
Plants are life and they die.
hey Leia, do you know about Jesus?
Leia.
You know about?
Oh, you're a good girl. You're a good girl.
She's waiting at the gate.
You're
by
a
the way.
good girl. Do you want to come in and be a part of the hangover? Come here. Come
Oh,
here.
okay.
Come
All right.
here.
So if we disappear,
Come here.
oh,
Jackie.
all right. You want to lift him up?
Jackie, come here. Jackie, come here.
Ugh.
He's going under you.
Oh, he's going under me.
Leia, come here.
Okay.
Leia, come
All
here.
right. So Leia. All
Jackie,
right.
come here.
Come on. Here is Leia. This is General Leia Organa, and she's a sweet girl but neurotic. All right. You're gonna have to get him.
Jackie, come here. You gotta move your leg.
Okay, but.
Jackie, come here. Jackie, come here.
And I don't know where Winter is, but Winter is somewhere around. And here is Captain Jack.
Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. I know you want your daddy.
Yeah, he loves
You
me.
want your daddy.
Yeah.
Come
All right, so these are our guys, and you know what? I think this is the perfect time
Yeah.
to call it a day. We have our family. We're going to
You do.
go eat some stuff and play some Elden Ring.
They look like black boys. They're black holes.
They are.
They're just the black holes of the universe. We're made up of Leia and Jackie.
I hope
No,
every.
or his poop's okay. Jack still has diarrhea.
Oh my God! All right. So anyway,
Not Jack. I hope you don't have diarrhea, but this Jack has diarrhea from his vet appointment and getting a tooth extracted.
we do have a family text
Yeah.
thing that you guys can do that on. Anyway, we'll see everybody in a couple weeks, and topic to be determined. Hope everybody has a great couple of weeks, and stay
There is
safe.
a multiverse of this
Stay
boy
healthy.
right here.
Infinite versions
Infinite
of this guy.
versions of this guy right here.
And infinite versions of her who's neurotic, and of us. So cheers everybody. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And I'm surprised the microphones lasted this long.